Ice Felt as well with a 4K at the end, right? 3 or 4?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they continue to play fantastic stuff there from Luminosity, really stepping up when it mattered. We talked about Nicholas and his excellent Mei play in the last map, but we saw some great Mei play here from Crew as well, using those walls in the same way to split things up.
Yeah, Crew, you were saying before, man, that guy can play so many different heroes at such a high level, and he came up big on Mei as well, and really has been a key player in Luminosity's success today. So we do head over to Route 66. This is Complexity's map pick. The series score is 2-1 in favor of Complexity. They just lost that last map on Temple of Anubis. So off the start, Luminosity will be on the offense. We'll have to wait until the gates open up to see exactly what they want to run with, but Complexity going back to their bread and butter team composition here, David.
You are correct with that. Torque jumping back on Tracer. Nicholas on Mei. Certainly paying dividends for them in past games. JKW also someone to note. Shake playing Ana this time around. Seen him kind of bounce back and forth between Zen and Ana. I guess you could take that to mean that he expects a lighter comp out of Luminosity going into this. Otherwise, he'd probably be playing Zen for that Discord. But Luminosity, in their first moments on the cart, Complexity lining up to mount their defense. Luminosity with a dive comp, so it looks like Shake has read the situation correctly. Crew on Genji. He's going to try and get on that back line, coming after Shake very shortly now.
Torque immediately going to the back line of Luminosity, seeing what kind of supports he can get on. Oh, Nicholas being taken to town all the way into the back. Luminosity with 4 to get us kicked off on the offense of Route 66, coming out strong here, and they are going to be able to stagger Joe Meister a little bit as well. We'll see if Complexity can get themselves back up to the point in time to try and stop it, but they're still having guys respawn right now, and that payload is almost there.
A misstep by Complexity for sure there. Crew jumping onto Shake from second one, and absolutely nobody stepping up to help him. Shake trying to defend himself. Meanwhile, Icefelt coming in with Tracer, looking for a pick on Nicholas. Nicholas gonna ice block and get away from it.
And here, Icefelt continuing to stay on to Shake back there. Look at that spree, super block, and the rest of Luminosity have just been coming up huge. What a strong start to this. They should be able to stagger Hardblue a bit here as well. He's caught out in the open, and see you later. Getting the first point, still 4 minutes to work with to get to the next one. Luminosity looking as if they are finally finding their form a little bit here.
Well, this might have been the form they were showing when they took out Fnatic to get here. Luminosity with 3, 4, almost all 6 ultimates in their bank. Meanwhile, Complexity getting close to 4. They will be very close to a Pulse Bomb, a Graviton, an Earth Shatter, and a Nano Boost. Very close to a Blizzard as well. Look at Torque trying to pick off Hedon right now. He'll get it eventually. Pretty much guaranteed.
Here comes Dragon Blade out from Crew. There is going to be a sound barrier for Luminosity as they try and send Crew in with that Dragon Blade. Make sure that he can use it effectively. Joe Meister goes down 3, 4, 5 out of it for Complexity. Luminosity is still just on cruise control right now in through the second phase of Route 66 on their offensive push.
Luminosity burning, what, 4 ultimates in that situation, and almost back with Spree and Icefelt. I saw Spree's ultimate meter just flying upwards after that self-destruct. Meanwhile, Complexity with 4 in the bank, almost 6 on their own. Certainly a lot of ultimate generation coming out here, but Luminosity getting a lot of distance out of each one of theirs.
Complexity looking to strike back now. They send in that Graviton Surge, have not found any value out of it, though Super Block goes down. He got the Earth Shatter off. Icefelt takes down JKW. Complexity still very much in this one, though. Torque takes down Hedon, and that is just a snipe and a half with the right click of Nicholas, and they are able to hold off Luminosity, finally breaking up a bit of that momentum.
Yeah, that is absolutely necessary. Complexity still holding on to 3 out of the 6 ultimates they had basically generated there. Burning 3 of them, Pulse Bomb, Graviton, and Sound Barrier to stay alive. Meanwhile, Luminosity losing roughly 2 in that circumstance. Yeah, it's going to be back in the favor of Complexity at that point, but Time certainly doing well for Complexity, or for Luminosity. Crew changing over to Pharah.
Got that Pharah back out there again. Just worked pretty well for Luminosity thus far today. And look at this, Crew uncontested, up in the air, just sitting on the ledge, pounding away at these guys. They trade 1 for 1 so far. It's a 5v5, actually make that a 5v4 fight in favor of Complexity. Crew trying to even up the playing field just a little bit as he continues to go relatively uncontested up here in the air. Icefelt getting Nicholas, and Crew is just continuing.
What a monster. Going on an absolute tear there in the back. Complexity's going to have to break out an answer for that. Torque staying on Tracer for now. Not entirely sure how Complexity is going to handle it. I mean, they really have to make some sort of counter pick here with how much success Crew is finding on fire. You really can't just expect to do better. You know, you have to actually put some hero investment in to stop it, I would think.
Complexity holds on in the end. Luminosity has to back themselves up. And Complexity has their respawn a little bit closer.
And aside from Sound Barrier, looking very sparse for ultimates on Complexity's side. Meanwhile, Luminosity with a nano boost getting very close to Justice along with the Sound Barrier. Now Icefelt breaking out a Pulse Bomb. Luminosity just looking very strong so far in this map.
They're gonna have about 50 seconds left to get this to work. Icefelt initiating, gets Joe Meister. 2-3 picks for Luminosity here as Icefelt is doing some work yet again alongside of Crew. Just cleaning up on all of the damage that he's putting out. Here we go, Luminosity getting themselves together a little bit as they started to struggle a little through the streets phase, but they will be able to cap off this cart.
The Pharah pick for Luminosity really coming in big. They were stalling out there for a moment before it came out, but now it's Complexity on the back foot as Luminosity is pushing into the final point of Route 66 with 1 minute and 45 seconds left on the clock. Complexity really wants to hold this map, tie it up at the very least, or Luminosity will tie up the series.
Oh, here we go. Justice raining in. There's a Pulse Bomb out from Torque as well. Crew was only able to get 1, and Torque and Nicholas combining for 2 themselves. It is a 1-player advantage for Complexity, 5v4, and Torque is taking his aggression all the way to spawn. He can't finish. He can't finish off Mineral. He was trying so hard. That's unfortunate. Could have staggered him a little bit, but oh my, he just couldn't get that last bullet. Hanging on by the skin of his teeth.
Behind him, and he thought he went inside spawn, but either way there, Luminosity coming back for another attempt. 1 minute and 10 left on the clock. Complexity trying to play forward, and Ice Ball coming out.
Here's the self-destruct, and Nicholas will put the wall down into the Blizzard, seeing what maybe he can find in that. It's so hard to tell exactly where the Blizzard's at on this slope. Hardblue gets Crew. They trade 1 for 1 so far. 5v5 fight. There is going to be a nano boost off back there from Shake as well. Spree and Icefelt, though, already combined to get 2.
Crew changing over to May for the final point. The verticality of Pharah being somewhat limited here indoors. And Icefelt doing work as Luminosity pushing into the final point with 36 seconds left on the clock.
They have a Pulse Bomb at the ready for Icefelt, and that nano boost for Hedan will be up relatively shortly. No Sound Barrier around, not all that much for Complexity to work with in the ult department. They do have an Earth Shatter, and there will be a Graviton coming up soon for Hardblue. Not too much for it to combine with. JKW throwing out that Earth Shatter there, and there was a good Biotic Grenade that landed on the players of Luminosity, and this is the chance for Complexity to make something happen. They're going to expel that Graviton Surge as well as Hardblue throws it out onto the field. Self-destruct coming in as well. Spree gets Joe Meister with it, and Crew combining to take down Shake, and we're going to see 4v4 fight relatively on the card here. Torque is just running around on Tracer, throws that Pulse Bomb out, but nobody's home. Now you have also Icefelt wrapping around the backside, and Hardblue's trying to deal with him, and for now Complexity is holding, but Luminosity will be coming back with a vengeance. They get 2 already to start off. Make that 3 for Luminosity. Now Complexity's in a bit of trouble as they have to regain their defenses. Coming back onto the point, JKW charges in, but he didn't have enough health to stay alive, and there's nobody around to contest Luminosity right now. Torque finally comes out of spawn. Here's the Blizzard. This could be the difference maker for them right here. An Earth Shatter out from Super Block, though, trying to give Luminosity that 3rd and final point. It will work. They get it in overtime, but they get the 3rd point nonetheless. So now it's Complexity's turn.
It looked like Spree swallowed that Blizzard there at the end, which had to have been huge. I mean, it didn't land. It's the only possibility.
Wow, that's pretty massive, because that could have been a difference maker.
Oh man, Blizzard is certainly strong on a point like that, zoning the entire thing. I mean, you pretty much have to either let yourself get off of it with the overtime, or just stand next to it, freeze, and potentially die. It's a rock and a hard place situation, and those last meters will definitely count, or can definitely count, as we've seen a number of times before here. Complexity, they're gonna have to 3-cap, or Luminosity is gonna tie this series up. Either way, if Complexity is able to leave a little bit of time in the bank there, then they're going to be looking pretty to convert it all the way into a top 8 entrance. But right now, Luminosity just looking so strong on this map. Complexity's really going to have to step up.
That's right. Complexity is... they had some moments there, some good shining moments, but Luminosity is definitely looking a bit better than they did through the first 2 maps of this series. And Complexity looking to finish things off, though. They don't want to have to deal with the 5th and final map. They've been playing a lot today. These boys want to finish it off right here, right now. They can, well, not with this offense, but if they can get some good time down going into the next phase of this map, they'll be looking good at least to be able to finish it off. So as far as team compositions for Luminosity, we will be seeing the exact same thing that Complexity was running on their defense, and Complexity on the offense so far is showing Torque on the Soldier 76 and Hardblue running Roadhog. Will they stick with it? Who knows, but Luminosity at least mirroring what Complexity had used on their offense.
Luminosity able to put forward a number of very clutch defenses on each point when they were playing against Immortals. Complexity coming out here with a 3 tank, what some people call the power comp here. Soldier 76 and 3 tanks. Oh, a huge pull from Hardblue, taking out Icefelt.
Harb showing he can still do it on Roadhog, and he might even be able to stay alive. Nah, he's got that biotic on him. Couldn't quite sneak out of there, but still. JKW able to get super block, and here we go. Complexity off to a great start. They've managed to get 4 picks now in their favor. 5 in total. There's still one working his way back to the point. That's Icefelt. He got taken down as the first pick in this. They're just staggering it so far. Complexity looking just as strong as Luminosity did off the start on the first point of this map.
I mean, that's going to be one of the keys going up against this strategy. If you allow Icefelt to get in behind and start harassing your supports, you really can't make that forward momentum, and we've seen it. He is great at that so far. Crew, also a force to be reckoned with, but really if Icefelt goes down, I see Complexity making a lot of progress.
Go Nicholas, playing quite aggressive here, waiting for them on top of the hill. Complexity 3 in their favor. Torque is doing work yet again. 2 for him. Luminosity traded back with a couple of their own, but still Complexity is going to be feeling pretty good on this point right now. Spree is still sitting on it. Complexity making minced meat out of him. And the first point cap, I think almost the exact same time that Luminosity had on their offense.
They're both doing it quickly here. 4 minutes on the clock for Complexity rolling into the second point. Complexity with 2, almost 3, 4, 5 ultimates on their side. Meanwhile, Luminosity with really only 3 to count right now. Self-destruct, a trace, or a pulse bomb, and a nano boost. 2 of those very close to happening, but not quite yet. Complexity looks like that self-destruct coming out, and it does not get anybody.
Just trying to initiate with it, and there's a few hurt players for Luminosity here. Crew and Spree among them. Superblock not doing too good himself. Torque shut down in the middle of his nano visor by the Earth Shatter. There is a self-destruct there as well. He's trying to do whatever damage he can. Does find Spree as he gets ejected out of his suit. Now Crew's caught in the thick of things as well. He needs to be careful. Whole hog out from Hardblue. It's the Harp Hog, as now Lucio's going to get shredded as well. Nicholas cleaning up on the damage. Torque, Nicholas, and Hardblue all combining to just rock Luminosity there as they tried coming in aggressively onto Complexity, and that will be them continuing to move this forward, looking very solid now is Complexity.
Complexity now with 2 in the bank. Or that's going to lie to me. For a second there, it said that Nicholas had a self-destruct and then just bled 60% of it. That's probably the de-suiting, the re-suiting. That'll do it. JKW with an Earth Shatter. Meanwhile, Luminosity really only with Sound Barrier. Hardblue.
Be a nano boost used for Luminosity. Complexity doesn't care about it though. They got 3 already for themselves, and Icefelt is able to get that support of Lucio. That's always a great pick, but Torque is still just wreaking havoc all over these guys with his Soldier 76. He can do it on Tracer and 76 both and make it work very, very well and shred through Luminosity. So we'll see if they can get themselves back out here to try and defend this one. 2 minutes and 15 seconds before the cap for them, and Sound Barrier coming out. There will be a Graviton Surge onto the players of Complexity. Biotic Grenade set down onto them is only going to hit Nicholas in the middle of this though. Torque setting this off. Look at the attack visor. He's already gotten 3, 4 for Torque. The Nano Visor. Him and Hardblue combining to take down 5 players. It's only Spree left. A complete team wipe for Complexity. Torque TJO with the big nano visor is going to set Complexity up to take this third and final point and have a decent bit of time left in that time bank.
Torque going full Jim Raynor on Luminosity and opening up into the third point there. 3 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock for Complexity. 3 ults, 4 almost, right on their side. Meanwhile, Luminosity with 2, almost 3 of their own. Go a little bit of back and forth. Right now, Complexity's looking really strong to take this series.
Comes the self-destruct to initiate. Torque still tearing through these guys, taking down Super Block. There's a self-destruct on top, out from Luminosity, but it's not going to do much of anything. It was just sitting on top of the ledge. Crew and Icefelt, though, are making up for it. They've managed to get a couple back in the favor of Luminosity, and Complexity now has dropped 3, so they will probably going to have to regroup here and go for another push. Still 2 minutes and 30 seconds for them to make something happen. Decent bit of time, but you know, it can easily be shut down by Luminosity. This could come down to the final seconds.
It can get soaked up quickly, and if they do cap, it will tie up. But if they're able to cap with a lot of time left, it'll certainly give them a better advantage. Moving into the next part here, Complexity with an Earth Shatter. Other than that, not a whole lot on their side. Luminosity stepping up, a little bit back and forth with the shield game. Both tanks rotating a Pulse Bomb.
Comes the Nano Boost in Luminosity's side. Hedan gives it to Super Block, who's swinging away left and right. Gets Nicholas and JKW. He's looking for more, but his teammates will help him out a little bit as Hedan gets Torque. Complexity dropping a lot of players, but now this is their time. They didn't use any ultimates going into that fight, and that's exactly what you want to do. Go in, just get Luminosity to use ults, because they did use quite a few of them, and now Complexity can come in with a bit of an alt advantage on this one. They do have
Nicholas switching to May there.
That's right. Oh, and there's the wall up already. They're looking to make the moves happen. Expect maybe a nano visor to come out. Here it is. Yes, Torque will send it on in. I'm guessing it's on him. Yes, indeed it is. Torque and Hard Blue already able to get 2, and there will be a May. That's Crew who's in the ice block there, but Torque continuing to shred through people. Hedan is quite hurt. He wants to hunt him down. He's chasing him all the way back there. There it is. Complexity have gotten 4 in their favor, and they were looking to send this one home. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Luminosity's going to have another shot at this defense.
Complexity with an Earth Shatter and a Graviton. That should be everything they need to take this all the way.
They almost have a sound barrier as well out from Joe Meister. So the self-destruct in for Luminosity. Hard Blue's going to take that free charge all day of the week. And here comes the Blizzard out on the side of Luminosity, though. That could put a stint in things just a little bit. Trading left and right. Here comes Luminosity, though. They got 3, make that 4 picks in their favor. JKW was the only one on the side of Complexity that was able to pick one up, and Luminosity will hold on for now. Complexity is going to have probably one more shot at this one, but they need to regroup quickly and get ready.
Nicholas potentially misplay there, really needed to go down to rejoin the rest of his team. They barely have enough to mount a second defense if they can get there quickly. Complexity here really wants to take this, or Luminosity will tie up the series.
Here they go. This is the last attempt for Complexity. Spree starting off, takes down JKW. Complexity needs to at least cap out here. 2 picks already for Luminosity. Complexity is falling apart on this last point. May should go down shortly as well. Icefeld is just tearing into them. The Blizzard's used from Complexity, but there's not much around. There's a wall separating them from the cart. They need to go and stand on it right now. I don't know if they're going to make it in time. No, it's Luminosity. They hang on to send it to a 5th map. Are you kidding me?
What a defense out of Luminosity with so much time on Complexity's side. It's amazing they weren't able to get it done, but a huge Blizzard coming out of Luminosity is really the most critical time possible.
The reverse sweep is alive and well right now. They have taken us to a 1-game series at this point. It's at this point best of 1. You take this one, you qualify for the Overwatch Winter Premiere, and Luminosity doing it in Luminosity style with the defense holding on the last point when it really, really mattered.
Yeah, Luminosity, the perseverance from these guys, going down 2 maps, they have been playing lights out these next 2 maps, putting up a gritty defense at the end there on that 3rd point. And just, I'm thoroughly impressed by it.
They're certainly not a fragile team, right? After what happened to them on the first stage of Nepal, you expect maybe not a lot of teams in the scene, but some teams are going to crumble under that pressure. And just under the pressure of all these last-second defenses that they keep coming up to and they keep holding strong, apparently they are that team that performs in the clutch. We're going to be pushing into the final map here. I'm going to guess it's going to be Gibraltar. Just out of the pool that we have. But either way, let's not get too far ahead here. Luminosity certainly needs this more than Complexity. Complexity already mounting a number of points through their continuous performance here. Now I'm sure they would love they would love to see some of the results and that come to fruition out of so much work having been put forward. But they are virtually guaranteed to get in at this point, from what I can tell. And Luminosity, however, if they don't win right now, it's a much sketchier situation for them.
For sure, absolutely. And we'll take another look at Harblu and some amazing plays he had there on that Route 66 map. But if you're in the situation here of Complexity, what do you do on the brink of a reverse sweep?
If you're Complexity, I mean, just get back to your game. They're still doing what they've been doing, and I mean, it's working with decent success. I think Luminosity just started to turn it up a notch. I'm not sure exactly what the key specifics are for Complexity. I still think they're playing pretty well overall. I think there's a couple of mistimed ults, maybe not the ideal situations to use them, but still very much in this, and I think it's going to be a close one on Gibraltar.
Absolutely. You said it. You called it. It'll be Gibraltar is where we will decide our next qualifier for the Overwatch Winter Premiere. You guys made predictions at the beginning. You called Luminosity. You called Complexity. You still sticking with these ones? I'll give you a chance to reconsider here. I'm
going to stay on mine, honestly. After the first two maps, when I made my prediction in my head, I'm like, oh, God, I really messed this one up, man. Complexity's rolling them. But, I mean, Luminosity is starting to show up. So I'm going to stay with mine just in case I am right. And I can be, I can bask in the glory. But
I think we're both safe in saying that sticking to our original choices here. I mean, Luminosity certainly has a lot of momentum going forward here. The reverse sweep going in their favor, but Complexity, they certainly want it. It's going to be who wants it more, the old age-old cliche here. But we're moving into Gibraltar, a map that we've seen Complexity do quite well on in the past. I'm not sure. I would not be surprised to see kind of that mirror comp come out of Luminosity again. Definitely the addition of another Mei Ice Wall into the mix has been a bit of a problem for Complexity, along with the Blizzard. I mean, if that Blizzard wasn't there in that last point, that would have been match for Complexity right there. They would have taken it.
It might just come down to who is able to make it all the way on Gibraltar.
Not 99% of the way.
Yeah, no, all the way. Because that last meter makes such a big difference, such a big, one huge whole point in the game where it's 4-3 is basically the last score. Yeah, that's a big deal there. So we'll see if they're able to do it here. It's all going to come down to this. Gibraltar is where we will decide it.
Well, here we go.
Almost only counts in horseshoes, Caleb, not Overwatch.
Yeah, that's right. This is gonna be a fun one though, folks. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. It is Complexity, Luminosity, map number 5 to go into it, and it's been an absolute barn burner of a match thus far. Luminosity has really stayed gritty, got their way back into this game after going 2-0 down in maps. They have just been playing so well to get back into it. Complexity now will start off on the defense of Watchpoint Gibraltar here. Luminosity will have to get things kicked off on the offense. We saw some pretty good offenses earlier out of them. We'll see what they can bring now against Complexity. Things are getting heated up now for the defense. For the defense for Complexity, let's see. So far they're going to have pretty much about the same as they've had thus far, though it will be Harblu running on that Roadhog. And actually, Nicholas, instead of the
Nicholas breaking out the Soldier 76. So we can see that there's a little bit of a connection there, which makes a lot of sense in between the Tracer and the Zarya. Nicholas playing Diva instead of Mei. So Complexity changing up a lot of what we've seen them do lately, and stepping back to the colloquially named power comp here, getting a little bit away from, I guess, Luminosity's mirror matching, and here we go, Luminosity coming up from underneath the bridge, pushing onto Complexity in what will be the final map of this series.
Big hook off the start from Harblu there, gets crew, but Super Block has other plans of Complexity being able to hold this one as he gets 2 of his own. He's a bit hurt at the moment, and here is Icefelt in the back line, giving the jukes to Harblu. Pulse Bomb lands right on top of him, and Luminosity staying strong here on the payload, and they continue to push through, off to a great start on their offense here in the 5th and final map of the Overwatch Winter Premiere. In qualifier number 3, Complexity looking to try and come back out. JKW's got that bionic grenade right on top of him. Look at Luminosity off to a fantastic start. Map number 5. We saw some great offenses earlier. on Gibraltar. They are continuing that trend right now.
That was quick for sure. Luminosity moving into the second point here. Complexity is going to have to mount a better defense on the second point. They don't want to run into the same situation they just got into Route 66. They want as much time as possible to push as far against this strong defense Luminosity continuously is able to assemble. Complexity with 1 ultimate nano boost, meanwhile Luminosity with 2, basically, almost 3, and Spree not far away from 4, Mineral 2.
Luminosity has the Fair out there now as well. Big Earth Shatter up from Super Puck as well. Look at this, 3-4 for Super Puck. Oh my goodness, massive Earth Shatter with the nano boost on top of him. Super Block taking him to town as Luminosity will continue this momentum that they've built up. And maybe Complexity will make it out for one last stop on this second point.
Super block, just like against Immortal, strong on offense, but wait a minute, here comes Complexity to contest.
Here we go, Spree starting it off, getting Torque. Here comes the Graviton Surge, and it's the huge Pulse Bomb in from Icefelt. Spree and Super Block all making things happen right now. Luminosity is starting to come back of the ages. Look at this.
Back-to-back team kills for Luminosity. That's going to be huge as they move into the third and final point with 5.5 minutes left.
Oh my goodness, Luminosity is showing us something magical right now. As they are just in absolute cruise control. And Torque is breaking out the Widow. When all else fails, I guess go Widow for Torque, as you know he can do some amazing stuff on it. He wants to try and deal with Crew, who's on Farah at the moment, but Crew got the better of him, and he's just been pounding those rockets back there as he's really been relatively uncontested.
Nicholas alone here, right in the middle of Luminosity. He will fall, providing a one-pick situation for Luminosity moving forward. Complexity almost completely out of ults. They do have 2. Actually, they have Blizzard and Sound Barrier. That will be enough for a stall, but with Luminosity lingering on 4, here we go into the final point.
Here we go, this is go time for Luminosity. Here comes the Justice raining from above. Crew gets Joe Meister. Nicholas is able to finally finish off Crew while he was in the middle of his ultimate, and Nicholas finds 2 here, maybe keeping Complexity alive for a little bit. They need to stall this out for as long as they can, because Luminosity is rocking and rolling in the time department at the moment. Looks like they should be able to hold on. Torque comes out on that, and McCree will let them hold on for a bit more. Luminosity is going to regather the troops and come back out.
6 here? What did he change to?
Go to Widow.
Torque to Widow.
Yep, back to Widow. He
All right.
was on it for a little bit.
Crew is now on May.
Oh boy.
Point that out. 3 ultimates on the side of Luminosity. 3 that can definitely combine quite well, along with the Icefelt's Pulse Bomb just on the outside here as Luminosity presses into Complexity yet again.
Nano Boost coming out on a Super Block. Biotic Grenade lands right on top of him, gets the bubble, didn't really do all that much with it, and here is the Graviton Surge trying to charge through a Super Block. Luminosity with 2 picks here to get things started. Icefelt and Crew both getting 1, and the counter Nano Boost comes out. That Earth Shatter is going to completely shut down JKW and his reign of terror with the Nano Boost, but the rest of Complexity coming through to clean up on these players of Luminosity. Super Block in the end is able to take down JKW, but things finally settling down here. That Luminosity respawn is pretty far away, so they just need to regather everybody up and go for another push. But Complexity doing a good job of evening things up in time a little bit.
Definitely a much better situation for Complexity now. 3 minutes still on the clock for Luminosity despite all that combat. Just shows how much of a time lead they had, but a Blizzard on the side of Complexity and an Earth Shatter will be a lot to slow down these 3 minutes. The card is very, very close to the final point, but not out of the reach of Complexity when they get their turn on offense, but we're not quite there yet. Super stepping up against JKW, a little bit of shield game coming back and forth, and there comes Blizzard out of Nicholas. He will take down Super in combination with JKW.
Oh, look at that, and here comes Icefelt on the backside. He'll go ahead and try and meet up with the rest of his team. The Blizzard was only able to get 1 right there. Nicholas and Torque.
It's enough to stall.
Combine, and look at this, is that
it's
Torque on the Winston now.
Certainly enough to stall.
Often.
Complexity budgeting their ultimates in a great way here. They're still holding onto the Graviton. They have an Earth Shatter. They have a Sound Barrier. They're very close to a Nano Boost. With 2 minutes left on the clock for Luminosity, they have a Sound Barrier themselves, a Nano Boost, and a Pulse Bomb that apparently didn't get connected. Spree over on a Diva now. this is going to be a tougher situation for Luminosity than they were just facing. Complexity looking a lot better than they did just a moment ago.
A lot of swapping going on from Torque here. He was just on Widow, on Winston. Now he's swapping over to Soldier. Here comes a chorus of ultimates from both sides. Sound barriers, and then the whole kitchen sink to go along with him as Hedan starts it off, getting JKW. Superblock had that nano boosted. Now Roydhart moving forward. Torque is able to take down Crew, though, who has switched over to the Winston. Superblock is going to get frozen. D.Va coming through to prevent him from taking any more damage. And there's an Earth Shatter in the back from Superblock, allowing Luminosity to get a couple of more picks. Nicholas and Torque both going down. The TJO brothers taken out of it. Nicefeld is still laying on the damage, able to finish off JKW just before Hardblue took him down. As they continue to scrap it out on the cart, there is going to be a self-destruct coming in. Hardblue trying to keep himself alive a bit longer as he has Crew all over him right now. Crew finally going down pretty late in this one. Luminosity starting to stagger a bit left and back and forth here, but Complexity settling things down for now.
A minute on the clock for Luminosity to take it to completion. Either way, they've gotten it very close. If they're able to mount a earlier hold, they will take the map, but that's a ways away here. Hardblue almost to the Graviton. Nicholas back with a Blizzard Shake, getting very close to a Nano Boost. Meanwhile, for Luminosity, not all that close to anything aside from Hedon's Nano Boost. That's dire straits for Luminosity, pushing in with no ultimates against so many CC ultimates against Complexity. Complexity looking very strong to hold.
Here comes the Graviton Surge out. There will be a Blizzard for Complexity as well. Superblock the first one to go down. Shake takes care of that. Hardblue getting taken down by Crew, and Icefeld will convert on a pick to Shake as well. So the player advantage is steadily going in favor of Luminosity here. Icefeld and Spree able to do work all over the place here, and they should be able to push it forward just a bit more. Nicholas is still sitting on the cart trying to stall as long as he possibly can, and you do have Hardblue back onto the point. He is playing Tracer, seeing how long he can stall for to get his team back out there. Here comes the Nano Boost on the JKW, though, trying to make something happen. Pulse Bomb out from Icefeld as well. JKW going for the Earth Shatter. The shield was put up in time, though. I believe it caught a couple people inside of it, but here's a self-destruct as well. And even another self-destruct coming on in. Spree and Crew both able to grab to themselves and continue to scrap on the point here. It is in overtime. Luminosity is going to have to wipe Complexity completely off here twice. It's actually only going to be Torque left. Luminosity may be able to finish this one off. There's nobody around, I believe, to contest this one here. And look at that.
Luminosity takes round one here of Gibraltar. Complexity on the ropes. They have to take it all the way in.
Take a look at the replay here. Superblock was in. This was just a huge Earth Shatter. He had the Nano Boost on top of the one Fire Strike. 4 picks in total for Superblock. That was big, and that allowed them to pretty much breeze through that hangar phase. And now it will be a switch in sides. Complexity moving themselves onto the offense. Luminosity able to cap all 3 points, but they did get the third and final one in overtime.
Now there is a chance, because that was pushed all the way in, that we will see one more map for a tiebreaker if Complexity can take it all the way. But earlier, Complexity on Gibraltar was stopped before even getting it around the corner. Luminosity so far putting together some great defenses. It's definitely an uphill battle for Complexity going in here. They've worked so hard to get this close. Their first appearance here in our finals, and they are moments away from engaging, 45 seconds roughly, engaging Luminosity to see if they can even tie up the situation. That has got to be a rough circumstance to be in morale-wise, but Complexity looks like they're starting to break out, what we've seen from them so many times. Hardblue back on Zarya, Shake on Zenyatta, Torque on Tracer, Nicholas on Mei, Joe and JKW on Lucio and Reinhardt respectively. Meanwhile, Luminosity starting to put together their defense. I really look forward to seeing what they break out here.
And see, I mean, Luminosity will get a minute and some change back on the board. So as long as Complexity, well, even if they go into an overtime, we'll see both teams with a minute and some change. It would be very exciting. Let's see if Complexity can roll it all the way through with even more left in the bank, give themselves a bit of an advantage working forward as they go into their offense. They have Torque on that Sombra to see. It's not a strat we've seen too much out of Complexity today, and Hardblue is able to grab Icefeld off the start here, so that will be at least one pick.
Actually changing up. Hardblue back on Roadhog. He gets a pull on Hedon, who gets a bubble on him, will back away.
Torque just causing a bit of a distraction. Luminosity very aware of what is out there and getting pulled in his spree. JKW getting the hammer swings in to finish him off. Hard Blue being frozen though. Needs some heals quickly. Give the man some heals. But finally finished off by Mineral, Torque, and Shake able to get Heat in. Oh, look at this. Complexity getting 4 players there. It's only Crew and Spree left. And I think Spree is still working his way back from the respawn queue. So he won't even be there. It's just time to set up for a hanger phase defense. Strong start for Complexity.
Torque making Sombra work, getting in behind Super and hacking him, really making sure that Reinhardt went down.
Look at this. Torque is still all the way in. He's got that translocation to bring him back to safety with the rest of his team. And Luminosity is starting their defense.
Oh, Crew back on far on top. It's going to be a hard thing for Complexity. So far, he's been dominant as Farah play.
Torque's got the EMP, just missed the hack onto Superplock's Reinhardt shield. And here we go. Crew is on Farah. As you said, Torque almost able to take care of him, but they have the EMP ready, Complexity. Luminosity, though, has 3 ultimates up. As long as they can get that EMP in there, there won't be any issues for Complexity. They just need to make sure they clean up on all of the players that are around. And here we go. They are looking to, some of them come off the high ground. Torque is on the cart at the moment, just pushing it on forward. Hedan has now a nano boost at his disposal. Torque and Nicholas will also have some. Oh goodness, thought he may have taken it. Here comes the EMP as well out of Torque. Superplock still getting that nano boost though. The Ana wasn't in range of the EMP, so he'll still be able to take it. Here comes Transcendence as well out of Shake. Icefelt able to finish off Hard Blue. And there's going to be an Earth Shatter at the ready for Superplock if he needs it. Already 2 players down though for Complexity. Luminosity settling things out here.
2 ultimates down for Complexity. Torque switching back to his Soldier 76. They burn the EMP and the Transcendence and don't have much to pay for it. Meanwhile, Luminosity, with those 2 big ones, the Graviton and the Earth Shatter, that's going to be hard to get past. Meanwhile, Crew ready to rain justice from above. With nobody really there to challenge him besides Torque, well, Torque might be able to stop him, but Crew so far being very good to get in position. And Mineral getting pulled by Hard Blue. That's going to be a big opening for Complexity.
That is a big opening indeed. Getting a support pick like that. Mineral was almost up on his ultimate too. Here's the Graviton in from Luminosity. There's a self-destruct with it. Look out, Loretta. Here comes a pulse bomb as well from Icefelt. Shake and Nicholas able to get some as well. There's only 2 up for Complexity. 1 up for Luminosity. Complexity moving this cart on forward.
5 for 4 in favor of Complexity. Complexity getting a lot of distance out of pretty much everybody dying, but they're going to have to back off now as the rest of Complexity comes in to help them here. And Luminosity starting to reform for their defense. Crew getting pulled in, and he will go down.
Oh, goodness. Hard Blue is getting such big opening picks that it's been big for Complexity right now through this hanger phase. Hard Blue getting the hook first onto Mineral, then onto Crew right there. That allows them to take these 6v5 fights. They want to start their move right now, though. Sound barrier out from Luminosity to give them a shot on this fight. Spree's going to get ejected from his suit now. Just a little baby diva. Hard Blue getting Icefelt as well with another hook. There is a nano boost off onto Superplock as he starts swinging away. The Bionic Grenade landed onto the players of Complexity. They aren't going to go down, but they lost Nicholas in the middle of the fight. So they're going to have to chill just for a moment, but they may be looking to re-engage. Maybe not now that Torque and Hard Blue have both gone down. Spree doing a good job of cleaning up on all of that damage there.
Oh, Luminosity likes that exchange. 3 ultimates out in 1 moment. 2 Earth Shatters back-to-back along with a nano boost. Actually make that 4, right? Because there was also the Transcendence on top of it. That's a lot of exchange, especially with how much time Complexity has left on the clock. 2 minutes. They really need to be able to generate more of those. They have Attack Visor, a whole hog ready to go, getting pretty close to a self-destruct. Meanwhile, Luminosity already with the Genji Blade, along with Icefelt just dropping his Pulse Bomb, not getting anything for it, and a self-destruct on his side.
Oh, here comes the Blade! Shut down by Hard Blue! See you later, Crew! Hard Blue yet again coming up big with these hooks, and that is 3 picks for Complexity at the moment. He's gonna get another one yet as well, taking down Hedan. This guy is absolutely on fire. Just led them to a 2nd point cap through the hanger phase on Watch Point. Gibraltar here. Bring in Spree. Why not? But look at this. There's going to be a few people getting these forward spawns. Luminosity wants to try and push the issue, but they aren't going to have enough gusto to stop these guys. And look at this. Staggering of the respawns. Hard Blue is just going off. And they might be able to stagger even harder here. This is not the best of news.
Hard Blue taking a well-deserved nap after all those pulls.
Seriously, man. That guy, Gold Star.
That's exactly what Complexity needed to keep back in this game. They're now pushing to the final point. They do only have 2.5 minutes. That could be enough, though. Luminosity with a nano boost and an Earth Shatter on their side. Meanwhile, Complexity only holding on to a Sound Barrier, very close to a Transcendence as they push around. They're just going to have to get more of those opening picks from Hardblue and make it work.
Hardblue pulling in Heat Hand, couldn't quite secure it that time. Heat Hand goes down anyway. JKW charged for it, and Torque gets super block. Complexity is in full flow right now. Look at this. They use a lot of ultimates to make this work, but it is happening. Torque, Nicholas, Joe Meister, the whole crew is making this one happen here as they may be able to cap off with a little bit of time more than Luminosity will have.
Complexity looking good, getting ready to tie this map up.
And it's Luminosity coming back out of spawn. Oh, goodness, no. Super Block was taken down by Hardblue. That is an absolute disaster on the side of Luminosity. Here comes the whole hog as well, just pushing everybody off the cart. Should allow Complexity to cap. Indeed, they will. A minute 40 left on the clock. We're tied up at 3-3 in map 5.
Wow. I did not see that coming after what was happening on that second point.
Oh, goodness me. Look at that hook. Hardblue went off through the hangar phase of this map, really throughout most of the map, just getting huge opening picks and allowing Complexity to have a chance. Take a 6v5 fight. You're going to win that any day of the week, or most days of the week.
We've talked a lot about Torque so far today, but Hardblue, the historic pillar of the team, really stepping up when everybody needed him most. 2 minutes and 40 seconds for them to attempt to take this map. Meanwhile, for Luminosity, they have 1 minute. Luminosity will be on offense first. They'll set the bar for how far Complexity has to go.
It is go time, man. Luminosity has only got a minute, as he said. It's not all that much, but Complexity.
We've seen recently teams play incredibly forward and either just go do or die on that first. It's a little bit of a gamble, but they were able to make it back in time. Complexity doesn't look like they want to make that risk. They do have a large time advantage. I mean, a minute and 40, as large as that can be on a map like Gibraltar. Wouldn't have expected Complexity to take it all the way there in the end like they did, but Complexity here looks like they're breaking out. Comp that we've seen them run on defense the most, they will potentially. Hardblue going back to Zarya with how huge he was on Roadhog.
I know, that's what I was about to bring up is, I mean, he's been doing great on both throughout the day today, for sure. But he was just crushing, absolutely crushing on Roadhog and really making some big plays. But Complexity knows better than we do, so we'll trust in this pick, and they have the opportunity to certainly win here. If they can stop it, maybe get the first point themselves, or get it even just further than Luminosity does. And Luminosity will really only have a couple good cracks at this. Both May walls coming down here. JKW may get caught inside, indeed he will. Headan able to take him out. It's a 6v5 fight. Make that a 6v3 fight for Luminosity as they start things off beautifully here, just shredding through Complexity. JKW, I believe, is the only one. Well, no, he just got his respawn. And now Luminosity actually with a decent opportunity here as they might be able to get the first point. Yeah, no one from Complexity is going to be around to be able to stop this. They're going to have to look for a post-cart cap stop here, right?
Complexity have to play forward. Luminosity coming out of the double Maywall Thunderdome with change to get that cap.
Here we go. It is go time for Complexity. This could get ugly quick if they can't stop them here. Nicholas starting it off, takes down Super Block. 6v5 fight for Complexity. Icefelt all over this backline, though, cleaning up on damage. Takes down Hardblue.
JKW
bomb from Icefelt as well. Look at him go. He's still all over this backline of players on to Shake. Luminosity continuing to press this cart on forward. Icefelt is making massive plays right now, and they continue to pound in the aggression onto Complexity. They need to stop Luminosity now, or they are going to be in trouble.
Oh, it's do or die time right now for Complexity. They need to stop this as much as possible. That is far too much progress in overtime. It's negating every single one of those seconds they fought so hard to get. 3 ultimates, almost 4, almost 5 on the side of Complexity as we push into the second point here.
Blizzard down. There's going to be, I think I heard an Earth Shatter come out of there as well from Super Block. Finally, Complexity may be making this work. The sound barrier is going to be used on both sides. Complexity has the player advantage, though. It's a 5v3 in this fight thus far. Hardblue is back onto the Roadhog, finally starting to get the picks that they need. JKW taking down Crew. Someone from Luminosity is going to have to stay on this cart if they want to be in this fight still and continue to push. I mean, they don't cap that second point, but still, being able to cap first and getting halfway through the hangar phase with 1 minute, that is huge. Complexity has a tall order to do that in 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Man, there have been no breaks on the Luminosity train here on Gibraltar. Replay from Shake on Ana.
Ooh, this is where it all kind of fell apart for Complexity on their defense. They got stuck down there into the low ground, and then JKW goes down, and then it just fell apart from there. I mean, that's a big.
It's not out of reach. It's not out of reach, but Complexity is really going to have to pull it together and push it pretty darn far in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. If Luminosity is able to bring up the defense we've seen them bring up time and time again today, Complexity must be feeling nervous right now.
Complexity, I would be feeling nervous if I was on Complexity. I mean, Luminosity just made a hell of a push with 1 minute.
Is the reverse sweep real?
It's
looking really close.
Hey, man, it is still on the table for the taking, but Luminosity just needs to put up a good defense here. Complexity, though, they have their fate in their hands as well. If they can muster up a beast of an offense, beast of an attack push here on Gibraltar, they could end this reverse sweep that Luminosity's been trying to mount over the past few maps. And this is what it all comes down to.
I'd say successfully so far. That's a tense situation for Complexity. Everything on them to save their own bacon here in the last map of the series of the finals on day 3.
It's what I like to see. Hardblue back on the Roadhog. Not that he's bad at Zarya, but he's been doing quite well on Roadhog today. Just as I say that, Spree is able to take him down with a right click down the hill. But regardless, they are down a player. They'll just back themselves up and wait for Hardblue to get his respawn. That's kind of bad news since Nicholas is caught down in here, may get ejected from his suit. Looks like he is going to make it to safety.
Second. A game of inches for sure.
Indeed it is. As Torque is rocking the Sombra, and they're just going to work themselves up. Torque is
close to an EMP.
Yeah, he is very close. You hack that big health pack right there, let your guys take some damage, eat those health packs up, and you will have EMP very quickly. Here we go. EMP comes in, letting them initiate. Super Block first to go down. JKW Shake all finding picks. It's already a 6v4 for Complexity as they are now looking pretty darn good, but they need to get all these players off the cart so they can push, so they can get this first point, and they are going to finally be able to get them. Biotic comes through. Complexity is going to get a team wipe there.
Now just off screen there, Nicholas pressing Hedon's Ana away, a very important part of that final battle, even though Hedon was able to get that Biotic out. Complexity now moving on to the second point. They are 41 meters away from Destiny.
Crew will be switching to Pharah as well. JKW and Shake have their ultimates. Joe Meister almost up on the sound barrier, but Crew is just going to continue to get that spam in there, just dealing the damage, keep them at bay for a little bit. And there is only, that's right, there's only 45 seconds for Complexity. They have a decent bit of distance to work here. If they move quickly, they might be able to get 2 more pushes if one fails miserably off the start here, or they're just going to try and get all their eggs in one basket and make it happen on this push here. The whole hog out from Spree to get things started. Here comes the Earthshatter, and that's big into the self-destruct. Will it make it work? Spree goes down. Nicholas able to find one. There's a Transcendence being used as well, keeping Shake alive. The sound barrier following up right after. Earthshatter coming in from Super Block, and he has got that. Oh goodness, look at Hardblue. 2 picks for him. JKW gets Super Block as well. Things looking pretty good for Complexity here. Luminosity will have one more shot at a defense though. Maybe.
Complexity, 5 seconds left. They are getting very, very close to that final point. Luminosity has to get in right now. A huge self-destruct. It's going to get blocked.
Stand on the cart though. Somebody's got to get onto it. Spree making it just in time. He goes down right away. Someone needs to stay on this cart though. Complexity with the opportunity to take the match. Spree went down. There's still not many people around from Luminosity. They need to get onto the cart. Here comes the Justice raining from above. Crew gets taken down. There's still one on the cart, but Complexity finally capping it in the dying seconds of the game. They take down Luminosity 5-4 in overtime. Oh my goodness, what a match.
Can we auto-qualify both of those teams for that?
Right, man?
Oh my goodness, you could not have asked for a better final here. Going to game 5 in Complexity, they made it take a long time, but they did not let